What's up, guys? Welcome back to Squishs Picks. So we went 3-3 last week, staying at that 500 mark. I'd love to get a little bit more. Even at 4-2 would have been really nice. So we won with Tennessee beating the Indianapolis Colts 19-10. The Giants, who were 3-point dogs in Jacksonville, won the game 23-17. Washington at home were also 4.5-point dogs, and they won the game 23-21 because Green Bay sucks. I keep saying it. Detroit at Dallas. I took Detroit. I told you I hated it then. I hated it. I should have just trusted my gut. I hated it. And they got blown out, 24-6. They just couldn't generate anything. I couldn't even watch the game. I guess I just knew it. I could just feel it in my gut. KC at San Fran. Boy, they just couldn't stop them. I think I saw that they're on their the first 8 drives. They scored on every one of them. They didn't punt. That's pretty crazy. 44-23 loss. And then Chicago at New England, 8.5-point favorites, and Chicago blew them out. Did anyone see that coming? I didn't see that coming, I'll tell you right now. All right, guys, so let's get into it here. Let's get my Squishies Pick 6 for the week. I'm going to start off in Buffalo. Green Bay is coming to town. The Buffalo Bills are getting 10.5 points. I thought this stat was pretty wild. See, Green Bay, it's the only place they haven't won on the road ever in their franchise history. It doesn't really mean, it's one of those stats that may not mean a whole lot in a game like this, but I just thought that was kind of cool. Look at Buffalo has the number 1 rated defense and offense in the league. Aaron Rodgers has nobody to throw to. They've been really struggling. I really, quite frankly, don't really know how you could select Green Bay in this game. I know it's 10.5 points. I don't usually love a big spread like that, but give me the Green Bay Packers. Give me the Buffalo Bills to cover the spread. Next up, Denver, favored by 2.5 points. It's at Jacksonville, but they are playing at Wembley Stadium in London. Look, Denver's dead last in the league in offense. Jacksonville has been bad the last 2 weeks, giving up 28.5 points a game and 435 yards on average in that span. But Denver is banged up, and they got Russell Wilson doing knee highs in the plane on the way over. Like, take a seat, buddy. What are you trying to prove here? I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars here. It's 2.5 points. That's a good spot for the Jags to bounce back. In 4 of their losses, they've lost by a combined. In 4 of their losses have been by 4 points or less. I think they're gonna win this game. Quite frankly, I think they're gonna beat Denver. I don't know how Denver is favored against anybody. Give me the Jags. Next up, Miami, 4-point favorites at Detroit. Look, Detroit's the worst defense in the league. That's just all there is to it. Detroit they've been horrible. Blown out by the Patriots. They were in tight games early on, but blown out by the Patriots, and quite frankly, weren't really in the game against the Cowboys. I'm taking Miami all day here. I don't think they can cover Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So give me the Dolphins. Next up, Arizona at Minnesota. Minnesota 3.5-point favorites. Look, Minnesota's coming off a bye. Kirk Cousins hasn't been great, but he hasn't needed to be. They've had a pretty balanced attack. You got Justin Jefferson, an absolute stud, all-pro wide receiver there. And it'll be interesting to see. They got DeAndre Hopkins back last week there for Arizona and Kyler Murray, and Arizona scored the most points in one game, a single game, with under Cliff Kingsbury. I just don't see that trend continuing, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings at home off the bye, 3.5 points. Next up, New England Patriots, 2.5-point favorites at the New York Jets. I think everyone's going to be on the Jets here. I don't know how you couldn't be. I've liked the Jets all year. I really have. And especially with New England getting blown out by Chicago. Excuse me? The Bears, first of all, won a game and they beat New England. I just think that Breece Hall injury with the Jets is massive. Zach Wilson hasn't been that great. Again, in that situation where he hasn't needed to be great either. But I think losing Breece Hall is really going to show, and we're going to see that in this game. And quite frankly, you just don't make money betting against Belichick and playing against a sophomore wide receiver, or excuse me, quarterback. I think he's gonna take Zach Wilson to task. Give me the New England Patriots, and then finally, homer pick here. Vegas, the Vegas Raiders are getting a 1.5 points favorites at New Orleans. I don't see the Raiders losing this game. I know their season's been on the line. Their season's going to be on the line the rest of every single game now at 2-5. But this is if they can win this game, they get some momentum going. They play some pretty weak teams coming up. You got Jacksonville coming to town there next week. This is a spot where I just think that they're gonna pull off the win, and I'll take the points. If they win by a point, boy, I'll look down. But give me the Vegas Raiders. All right, so wrap it up. I'm taking Buffalo 10.5 point favorites at home. I'm taking Jacksonville 2.5 point dogs playing in London. Miami 4-point favorites on the road in Detroit. Minnesota 3.5 point favorites at home off the bye. New England 2.5 point favorites on the road in New York, excuse me, and then the Vegas Raiders 1.5 point favorites. Last week I went with a lot of dogs. This week's all favorites. So, let's see what happens. Trying to improve my record from basically 3-3 the last couple weeks here. So let's get above that 500 mark and maintain. So that's it for Squishs Picks. Thanks for watching. Click the like button, subscribe, all that, and we'll see you next week.